So through postpartum early days, nights are really long, and it can feel like when you're up and you're walking baby around and they don't sleep and they've just spat up or they've pooped again or they haven't pooped but they're cranky and you don't really know what's wrong and it's just not working, and you feel like I've been up for hours and everything just feels like it's taking so long, and the night is dark and you're staring outside and it's not getting any brighter because the time's not passing, and you feel like you're almost suffocating because you're like in this space of, I just want everything to be okay. I don't understand how I can help. I'm doing all of the things that the books have said and that people have said, and I don't have the resources to access because I'm so tired and I don't know what to do, and I'm just overwhelmed by this baby. I think the thing I really want to speak to here is it's really normal. It's really normal. I remember with my first, there would just be days where I would walk him around at night and I would cry and I would think that it was never going to get any better and what was this, my life now? And then I've got the others, and in some varying degree it's happened with all of them. It's happened with all of them that, you feel like it's just not working and you don't know what to do, and it feels never ending. And now they're 8 and nearly 6 and 4 and 1, and I think, oh my god, like those days are so far gone, and yet they're right here the minute someone gets sick or whatever else. I'm right back on that. Like, I'm up every hour and half an hour and all of the things, and you go back to that staring outside and thinking, oh my god, is this my life now? Is it ever going to change? Am I ever going to feel like I've rested? And I will say that sleep deprivation is a slow form of torture. You need to sleep. Sleep deprivation will lead to so many other issues. So as much as it's absolute crap, the sleep when the baby sleeps, because it's so difficult, especially when the baby doesn't sleep, you need to try. And you need to get someone to come and have the baby so you can nap or whatever, but you need to try and sleep, because sleep deprivation will be the underlying cause of so many problems that come. If your baby isn't sleeping or only wanting contact naps, literally find a way. And I know that sounds so privileged and so like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, but I do. And it's never going to be easy, but get creative. Just don't fall asleep with them on the sofa, but put them in the sling. I have literally napped with my babies strapped to me in the carrier, known that they were safe, checked that they could breathe and whatever else, sat down awkwardly on a chair and napped, because that sometimes was the only way to do it. Or I have strapped them into a car seat. This is not, a long-term solution. Strapped them to the car seat, they've gone to sleep, and I've slept next to them in the car and parked up in the house. Like, we've done all of those things because that's not, and I'm not trying to give advice in the, oh, well, this is what's safe and this is what's right. I'm saying that I have done the things, and they might have been wrong, and they might have been, not the way that you should do things and not the way that the books do them, but you need sleep and you need food. You need nourishing food, you need warming food, you need to build up your resources, because growing a human is a depleting experience, and you need to rebuild all those nutrients and all those resources that your baby took out of you. So, sleep, please sleep, and please remember that as isolating as it feels, you're not the only one going through it, and anyone who has been through it will have the compassion for you. And if I was closer, I would say, I'll come and look after your baby. but I'm not. So you need to find people, you need to lean on people. And I know that that's much easier said than done, but you need to find people, because when you sleep and when you eat, everything feels easier, especially for neurospicy brains, especially when you're actually just, you know, running into these walls constantly because you haven't slept and you haven't eaten, and there's stuff everywhere and you're overwhelmed because all of this sensory stuff is going in and all this visual stuff's going on, and there's sounds and there's noises. Well, sounds and noises are the same thing, but there's sounds in this mess, and there's things touching you, and you're sticky, and there's sick everywhere, and you haven't had a shower, and all of the things. You know, you need rest, and you need to prioritize that. And as someone who has been through the newborn stages and not prioritized it, I can tell you that it is a very lonely and hard road if you don't lean on people. So lean on people. I know you're doing that anyway, but, you know, lean on them harder if you need to, and know that it's not forever. The nights are really long, really long. But the sun does come up. That's the one thing that you're guaranteed. The sun will rise and the day will start, and you will have a whole new roller coaster to experience. And then the night will come, and, you know, this is your life now. This is your life with a baby, and he will grow, and then he'll be big like mine. But until you get to that stage, you just need to survive it, but also find ways where you can have those pockets of peace and bliss and joy, because when you do, everything becomes easier and you can hang on to those moments. You have the pockets of peace and you have those moments, and you think, yeah, this is why we do it. This is why I chose this. This is why it's worth the hard things and the going against the grain and the not doing, the cry it out and not pushing, because you're investing in your nervous system as a family. You're investing in your baby's nervous system, so that you're remembering you're not just raising a baby, you're raising a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old and an 18-year-old, and you're raising somebody who will eventually be someone's parent. And so you're investing in all of that with what you're doing now, and that is a huge responsibility. But this isn't meant to say, you know, do it right. It's meant to say that even though it can feel lonely, and even though it can feel like there would be easier options, you're choosing to parent in a way that feels aligned to your values, because you are raising a human who you want to bring into the world and bring up in the world as someone who is grounded and nourished and whole, and knows that, and knows that they are whole and worthy, and knows that they can then pass that on. And that's massive. So yeah, I hope that that's helpful. I hope that you can really hear what I'm trying to say, and also I hope that you really do see that you're doing amazing, that you are just absolutely smashing it, and you will have those moments, and the nights will be long, and you'll get through them, because we all do. The goal is to get through them as untarnished as possible, I suppose, but you're doing it, and you're doing amazing.